Hello, YouTube. This is Jay Coder back with another stream, and today we're going to go over leveraging Gemini in your Android apps. So, recently Google released their API for their new generative AI, and you can use it inside Android apps. So I'm going to show you about that. And if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to this channel and also like this video and comment. And well, without further ado, let's get started. All right, so what I'm going to do here for today is actually have the project ready in my Android Studio, but let me read you some information about the Gemini first. And so, leverage Gemini in your Android apps. And so it says, last week we unveiled our most capable foundation model, Gemini. Gemini is multimodal. It can accept both text and image inputs. We introduced a way for Android developers to leverage our smallest model, Gemini Nano, on device. This is available on select devices through AI Core, a system service that handles modal management, runtimes, safety features, and more, simplifying the work for developers. And today we're introducing new ways for Android developers to access the Gemini Pro model, which runs off device in Google data centers. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go ahead and go over how to access Gemini Pro from our application. So, with these instructions, it's basically saying that what we need to do is we need to set up our API key. And so I already did that, but I'm going to go ahead and post the link in the chat and also in the description on how you can set up your API key. And I'm going to go ahead and copy that link. Gonna go ahead and put that in our chat here. So, our chat. Okay, well, I'll make sure that that is in the description for us. But so, yeah, so you can go to the Leverage Gemini in your Android apps article. You can pretty much type this into Google. And then after you type that into Google, leverage Gemini in your Android apps, you will come up with this article. Once you come up with this article, go ahead and go down to where it says Gemini API, and then where it says Gemini API, go ahead and click that. And once you click that, then then oh, I'm sorry. Actually, this is the documentation for the Gemini app, but you can also do it this way too, where I clicked on that and then says get API key in Google AI Studio. So you're gonna have to click this button and go ahead and do that because I already did that and I already generated my API key. And so that's the first thing you do is generate your AI key. And then so I have the starter project, whereas in certain Android Studio builds, you can select the template Gemini API starter in order to get a example template. But what I did is I went ahead and downloaded the source code for the project template that they are talking about. So you can actually get that from this link here, generative AI code sample. And then once you click that, you will be able to go to the actual GitHub page for that and go ahead and download the generative AI Android source code. And then after that, you can go ahead and make a project. And so those are the two important things. One, generate your API key. Two, go ahead and either make the select the new template, or you could either select the Gemini API starter, or you can download the generative AI Android project from the actual GitHub. And then after you do those two steps, you can go ahead and use it inside your Android Studio. So, so this is the Android Studio project here, and so what I can do is I can go ahead and play this project so that you all can see. But all right, let me go ahead. Well, actually, let me first show you guys how to set up the API key inside your project. So basically, in order to set up the API key inside your project, you're gonna have to go to you're gonna have to go to the README file inside the project here. So I'm gonna actually do a find in files, find, or edit, find, and then okay, so I'm gonna go to edit, then find in files, and then in the find in files, I'm going to find the README, or actually, I can type in API, the API key. So it basically brings that up for you guys, and then so basically, what I did is find in files, and then I typed in API key, and then there's the README file, which I already opened, which I'm sure you guys how to find the README file. And so I typed API in here, and it brought in these instructions from the README. So, like the README right here. And so you can go ahead and open the README, and then the README says uh, add your API key to the local.properties file in this format. So you would make sure you copy this format from the README, and then inside the local.properties, you're going to go ahead and put that there. And now, instead of this that I highlighted, you're going to go ahead and put inside your quotations whatever your API key is. Um, so that's going to be private to your system. So that's why you need to generate the API key in order to put that there. Then, after you do that, you should be able to run the application. So I already did that. So let me go ahead and run the application here. All right. So what we have here is we have three modes that we can try. One is a sample app demonstration and conversational UI. One is generate text from text and image input, multimodal sample app for uploading images and asking about them. And then there's generate text from text only input, sample app that summarizes text. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the first one here. And so here it says enter text to summarize. Let me just mix something up. Paul, let's see. Went, Paul walked to school Monday to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then the next week, his mom asked if he wanted a ride, but Paul said no and said that he enjoys walking and he continued walking to school for the rest of the year. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and type that, hit go. Looks like it generated a response. Paul walked to school every day for a week. The following week, his mom offered him a ride, but he declined, saying he enjoyed walking. He continued walking to school for the rest of the year. So, well, I mean, it kind of pretty much summarized it. Um, but yeah, summarizing is cool. But let's say we wanted to modify this to do something else. Like, let's say, you know what? Let's turn this into a password generator. So let's try to modify the code real quick to modify this summarizer to convert our input into, well, not convert our input, but to generate a password. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. So what we need to do here is, so we have the different code here. We have the main activity here, and that's where it displays composable for either the summarize, photo reasoning, or chat. So what we want to do is we want to modify the summarize section. And so they actually have it split into three folders: the chat, multimodal, and summarize. So this is all the summarize code here inside this thing called the text folder. So let's take a look at the summarize view model. And so inside the summarize view model, it appears that it has this instruction that it says, well, since this method is grayed out, that means this method is not being used. So this is actually the method that's being used here. So we're going to go ahead and modify this method, and instead of saying summarize the following text for me, we're going to say generate an example password based on the following criteria. Generate an example password based on the following criteria. And then, all right, so let's go ahead and go to the summarize screen. And then in the summarize screen, it's gonna have this text here says enter text to summarize. Instead of enter text to summarize, I'm going to put enter. I'm gonna go ahead and put enter criteria to enter criteria of password. Okay, so we have that. And let's see if this will work. So let's go ahead and rerun it. Expected. Let's see, it's missing. Okay. So did I? Let me see. And then after that, enter criteria for the password. Then rerun. Type mismatch. Actually, let me do it like this. Let me go ahead and make one of these. So this won't be password crit, and this will be enter the criteria for the password. Okay, so I have that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and go back over here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and make this dot uh, password criteria. All right, and then let's go ahead and run that. And then, all right, it's running. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go to this first one here, which is the one we should have modified. So we, so I went ahead and went here. Then I typed in, or I tapped in here. Then it says enter the criteria for the password, which is what I wanted. Let's say very secure and 20 characters. Then I hit go. Then, boom, instead of a summarizer, we created a password generator. So, that's some of the things that you can do with the AI. And also, they have where you can upload an image to ask the AI questions about what's inside the image. But I'm going to skip that for now. And then they also have the where you can chat with it, and they have a chat history, and they have a hard coded chat history with, "Hello, I have two dogs in my house. What should I name them?" So, all right. And so, what it says is, "Congratulations on your new furry friends. Here are some suggestions for names." So this is an example of saving the chat. So it was already aware that this was already pre-entered. So it saved the context, and once you asked what should I name them, it automatically knew that it was talking about the two dogs. Let's kind of look at the that code a little bit just to kind of see a little bit how that works. So that part was in the chat section. So this is all of the code. This folder is all of the code for that chat section. And so let's check out the chat view model. And inside the chat view model, we have the hard coded, "Hello, I have two dogs in my house." And then we automatically have the model say, "Great to meet you. What would you like to know?" And so this is passed into the chat history like that. And so yeah, I would encourage you all to play around with this and modify it and see what kind of neat applications you all can come up with. I think it's really cool that Google has made this nice, clean, easy example to get started quickly with the Gemini API inside your very own Android app and without any compile issues or anything. And so that's always great when things can go smoothly and you can get started coding. But anyway, that's what I wanted to show you all for today. And so I want to say I'm also going to include the links that I said inside the description where you can download this example, where you can generate your API key. And yeah, so if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I encourage you guys to stay coding. All right, peace.